Alrighty, y'all. What's going on? Welcome to Authentic Glow Coaching by myself and Taja Shibra Moore. Welcome to where our travelers simply glow and radiate confidence and have a specific inner glow. Okay, rich tonal browns, espresso, caramel, and then straight up chocolate, that deep, rich type of milky espresso. Give you a shot. I got an espresso one day. I'm like, yeah, I just wanted an espresso. I'm just thinking, I just know what I'm doing. Honey, she gave me a whole, and I threw it out. I'm like, okay, come on, bro. Like, damn, you gonna just sit up here and just let me just order the whole Tim type of thing. Like, I can hear the girlies now using now. Yeah, okay, just keep on. You ain't sick of it yet. Just go ahead. And I'm like, well, you can at least make it tasty. So sometimes I like my YouTubers, but it's the other end of like my own aesthetic too, where I'm just like thinking to myself in a really sincere manner, like sometimes y'all just don't get it. Like, I love y'all and everything else, but some of the things that y'all say just does not resonate well with women who are really just about taking their notes. Okay, like women who just really envision their lifestyle and flow. Some of them just totally fail and miss the mark, just through and through. It's kind of like wearing a bad brown, like a washed out brown, or a brown that you know is like 2 seasons ago, or like a brown that you trying to wow your latest legacy in, but the brown is so washed that you actually are doing everything else, but they can only focus. It reminds you of the commercial on the TV, or you see the guy showed up to the date in his wrinkled shirt instead of like the Fruit of Balloon one that was like kind of sort of you wash and you ready to go and impress the girl, and she ended up leaving while she walked out. That's exactly how life is. So when you really are looking to make a statement, when you show up in your Pacific color, especially in those browns, like brown, I just recently got a really dark coffee brown. Now, why you couldn't put that espresso in a nice brown type of coffee where caramel, sometimes I hit my folks. I have been in a position, I'm at True North and I'm doing my little 1-2, and the guys that come in, they're getting their espresso shots and they just add it to their coffee. I'm like, bro, you just put this whole entire thing in a coffee cup, like for real. Like, so totally failing in the barista points area. Like, we giving some stars, but you probably getting maybe 1 out of 5, 2 out of 5 tops, 3 on a good day, and that's max. That's no need to tell anybody anything less than what it is. That's exactly what it was. Okay, a complete failure to really protect and honor humanity and society. So I've been really finding ways to combat that through prayer. I have asked God repeatedly to watch the way that people speak and treat myself at all times, because I was just getting the bare minimum of respect when it comes to dealing with the things that people were saying, especially when they saw myself. I mean, I was getting called bitches. I was getting called all kind of names, go harders. I was getting called a person that's worthy of looking pressed or getting their hands put on. I mean, there were times when people were saying vile things like I lied, you know what I mean, that I was saying these things. This is according to what their words were from their mouths. I was getting told to go head on, that I was interrogating, that I'm trying to recall what that particular spot was. Did they say that you're rude? One girl wanted a manager. One lady was so rude, and I had expected her to, oh, cool, yeah, sure. Oh my goodness. And when that didn't happen, and I was trying to continuously go ahead on about the little whatever the things that was going on, particularly, so to speak, that I had to do that particular day. That was an issue because of it. And so now I'm considered, the rudest person. And so now I realized that this treatment was something that was going to have a spot at my altar for prayer about. And now when I do those things, you realize now that maybe I need to dress up my tonal and go to my altar before Christ and do the things that I need to do that are necessary in the complete espresso look. And I'm talking the espressos that really give this particular type of energy. I desire to do what I want to do. Women hire me as their coach when they are ready to step into the most unstoppable version of their own desires that they have chosen to create for themselves. What does that look like? Well, I'll give you an example. You go to a doctor, you just give birth. The doctors are okay. They really appear to do their jobs well. They really seem organized in the way that they conduct each patient's visits, until one day you notice something that has really altered your opinion of them. And by the time you begin to act on this particular manifestation, you come to realize, okay, well, now what is our new reality that we want to see based off of failure from experiencing with this particular experience? So now you go to work building what that looks like. And as you think about the ways that you wish to see these things manifest, you come up with new ideas. As you bring those ideas into fruition by placing phone calls to places that are a bit more in alignment with the things that you see for your children. Those people are very receptive, they're warm, and they're welcoming, which was something that you was looking for, but you did not find at your previous establishment. So now that you understand that, you can go about your course and make room in the appropriate phone calls to manifest what it is that you authentically have chosen to desire when someone else has failed to give it at that particular establishment, which is what is considered elsewhere. Now, that's what your dream of overall pleasing flow looks like, because now you have taken those steps to create that particular flow, which gives you an ultimate reality of what it is that you have deepest for your desires that are your own. And you go to the new establishment that's really well endowed, which of course the other one wasn't, and you have your espresso. Maybe you have the Starbucks right there, so it's easy just to stop by for a second, pick up a quick matcha, and go about your day. And that aesthetic gives classy energy, multiple streams of income, basic skincare 101, 2026, I'm going to see the world, cash flow, 1979, Aliyah, sacred. Okay, we take notes, we on the scene, but we continuously choose to stay out of the way so that we can allow other people room for their own manifestations. And because we choose to honor those who are choosing to practice some of the wellness that we also wish to have as a manifestation, we can compare notes, we can give and bounce ideas off of one another as we continuously each bring our own dreams into manifestation. Now, that particular party and your power and all of that pretty purple and those golds. And can you imagine the beautiful sunset and that purple hue? It almost just looks surreal. It's like, oh, that is stunning. And that's the energy that you give as you dress in your particular rich colored browns, as you go through your particular suburb or city to find the things that are of a manifestation interest to one particular party or thought or idea that one has going on. You find that there's really more harmony in those particular thoughts. And as you manifest those, you actually are calm. You actually are shopping at the dream store that you've been thinking about for the longest of the last years or so. When you really have that moment and you really are underneath that impression that what you've dreaming about is manifesting, self-actualizing. It's really coming into fruition that sends clear-cut messages. I'm not to be trifled with. I am not here to entertain you. I am not here to gossip about what takes place in the household when I'm supposed to be necessarily making sure I scale the business. I'm not here to make sure that someone else's needs are put above my own. I am not here to make sure that I'm looked down upon because of my skin color, based off the way that I look, off the way that I talk, off the way that I speak, off the way that I conduct myself. If I'm here to do any of those things besides scale a business and enter and flow and have happiness, somebody is doing something wrong. And therefore, the manifestation of a newer reality that's more in alignment with flow is now thus a necessary change. So as we go about embracing and accepting and acknowledging those particular types of changes, we realize that we have practiced purpose, alignment, self-actualization, being able to say that I appreciate everything that was done, but it's not up to par. So thank you in advance for the things that you have. But these things are falling short of a particular standard and boundary. So now because of that, I am willing to let go and let live. And I am contented with that in my color of brown espresso. Okay.